Hi everybody and welcome along to High New Gundam Vertical Work in Progress Part 3. So the last time we spoke the backpack was done and I said I was going to make a start on all the white parts. So I've sorted out the majority of the white parts for the torso, the legs, etc. And we're going to leave what's left here. It's mainly the heavy weapons set and the weapons from the kit itself. So we'll just concentrate on what we've got here. I'm just going to review them. I did take the parts off the sprues with the Tamiya nippers, and they're great. And I'm just giving them a look over to see if I do need to give them any further treatment with the sanding sticks. I don't think I will, because I've done a good job beforehand as I was taking them off the sprues. I can't really remember which ones I did, but they're looking all right actually. So we're just going to review them, have a quick look through them. I can't really see. I must have done these previously and not realised, because they look okay. Yeah, I've definitely had a polisher on that. But you know, just to make absolutely sure, I'll go through them. Because we don't want any mistakes later down the line when we come to prime. Well, you know, when we prime them, we'll probably see it anyway. So what's next? When I've done this, we'll mount some on sticks, get them primed up, pre-shaded and ready for just the white. So we're going to fly. We should really fly through these. Now, here's the thing. I don't know whether or not I should do a little bit of panel chiseling, put some extra panel lines in here. I'm unsure. I'll put those bits to one side, and if I do decide to do any, I'll definitely show you. There's nothing I can really do. I could do some panel line on here, but I don't really. I don't think I really have the experience to do it, to be honest. I've got the tools. I just need to practice on something that's not so far into the process as what I've already done with this. If you're noticing anything different about the camera, I'm actually decided to start filming stuff on my phone. Now, my phone will film up to 4K, but my laptop, well, it's an old laptop and it won't edit anything in 4K. I can edit with what you're seeing now, which is 1080p at 60 frames a second, and I've got plenty of memory in my phone, and I'm just going to see if it's going to help, because the last time I said I wanted to show you me using the K colours, but I couldn't really get it into my booth because of how tight it was with my DSLR. Now, as you can imagine, this phone on a little tripod, it's no room at all. So what I'll do, I'll take you over to my dirty spray booth, and I'll show you what I mean. Now, we're in the spray booth. I've got a spoon. And there you go. You see, it's going to be so much better. And the good thing about the app that I'm using as well is I can use, I can turn down the exposure, and I can lock the exposure off so it's not jumping around. So I can come right down there, and it's going to look better. I can lock it off. Oh, that's unlock the exposure, to be honest. There you go. Come up a bit more. Come up a bit more. And yeah, we can definitely do some videos in the spray booth now. So yeah, I'm going to carry on doing the white parts, and when we're ready to spray, I'll show you me spraying and doing some pre-shading. So I'll see you in a while. Okay, so we're going to do some priming now. I'm going to be using my Iwata Revolution CR. That's a 0.4 needle, so it's quite a heavy sprayer. We're going to be using it along with the white primer. Yeah, I know this is not very exciting to look, but I did have a question off one of the channel subscribers asking me how I applied it. Now, the thing is, I did say to him, you have to use it quite heavily. If you tickle this stuff on, it can go quite grainy. If you use it, say, like the Vallejo urethane surface primer, if you use it in the same method as that, it'll, before the atomised primer gets a chance to get itself onto the part, it will dry and it will be really quite grainy. So you really have to pull the trigger back. I've got my compressor set to about 18 psi, 18 to 20 psi, and that should be absolutely fine. So I'm going to fill the airbrush up, and I'm going to start just priming some of the parts. I won't show you them all, but after that we're going to do some pre-shading, which we'll show you more of. So I'll see you in a while. So I've got a fair amount in the colour cup. This won't last that long, to be honest, because the amount I'm going to be chucking out is going to it's going to get through this fairly quickly. So I'll grab the first piece now, and I'll just start showing you how I go about using this product. So I'll give it a little blow first, make sure it's got no dust on, because I did put these on the sticks and leave them there for a couple of days. So this is how we go about it. Just pull back on the trigger, depress the trigger and then pull back really heavy. Now this is very thin stuff, it's pre-thinned, and that's it, that's all I do. That's it. I know it's white on white, you can't see a lot, but you want it so it looks wet as it goes down, and then it'll just self-level, and that's it's as easy as that. If you start tickling it on, it will, like I said earlier, it will go grainy. So I'm just going to start throwing some primer on these now, and when they're all done, we'll begin pre-shading. There you have it, all the pre-shading has been done now. Sorry, all the priming has been done now. The parts look super smooth, as if, you won't really be able to tell on the camera, but they're a lovely matte, smooth finish, ready for their primary coat of paint, which is again going to be white. So not the most exciting colour for me to cover, but it's one of those that I've got to do. Right then, I'm going to clean my airbrush and we'll move on. All the priming has been done now, as I've just showed you. So the next step is to clean out my airbrush. The Alclad stuff is a cellulose lacquer based product, which needs special chemicals to clean it out. So this is the Mr. Tool Cleaner. This was given to me by Albion Hobbies at Telford Show to try out. I think it's great stuff, no problem at all. If you're using the Mr. Colour stuff, now remember, this is a self-leveling thinner. It's going to start getting expensive for you if you start cleaning out your airbrush with this stuff. You do need just to use this as a thinner. It will clean your airbrush out, but you're going to get through it, and it's going to be no good to you. An alternative, if you're in the UK, get yourself to Wilco and buy some of the cellulose thinner. I think it's under £2 a bottle. Get yourself a couple at a time, and this stuff you can just piss through, clean out your airbrushes. So it works great. Again, you've got to have an airbrush with decent seals on, like the Teflon seals that are in the eye water stuff. Other than that, you will get problems further down the line. So, quick tip: either use the stuff that's meant to clean out your airbrush, the cheap alternative, but if you've got no alternative and you have to use the thinner, then so be it. But it is going to start getting expensive for yourselves if you start using that stuff all the time. Right then, we're going to move on to some pre-shading now. I'll see you. Okay, it's time for the pre-shading now. And as you guys know, when I do white, I always pre-shade in grey, and I'm going to be using the grey primer microfiller. Reason for this is that the iWater HPCH, which is my fine detail brush, has a 0.2, 0.3 needle, either way, and it just doesn't really clog at all. This stuff, it's great flows, and it just makes the whole process a lot easier. So I'm going to get the airbrush filled up. I'm going to show you some parts. Here we go then, we're just going to start with a light passes on the edges. You want it as subtle as you can. There's a preconception about pre-shading that it has to be perfect. It doesn't. What I like to do, I like to feather in the edges, and then just do whatever else you think needs. Like there's a little, very subtle line here I want to do, and there's a very subtle line, excuse the compressor guys, very subtle line here I want to do, but that's, in a nutshell, that's it. And I'm going to go around, I'll do all the edges as well, the backside edges, And oh, sorry, using my phone as I've mentioned before, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. You can see the pre-shading there, and it's really easy. Let's do a few more parts. Do this, the counterpart again, around the edges, nice feathered edge. You don't have to get in really close, you can if it's up to you, but again I've still got my air pressure set at about 18 psi. You can bring it down if you want, but I don't see any point. You want to get through this as quickly as possible. There you go, that's all there is. Really easy, really effective. I'll do a more complex piece now. This is part of the hyper beam cannon, whatever. So yeah, again, let's start with the edges. Around the edges. See, it was that quick and it's that easy. Let's do another part of that. Let's do another part of this. Let's do this large part of the beam cannon, nice and big. Right, again, let's start with the edges. Oh, there you go. Right, as you can see, the good thing about this stuff, it dries really, really quickly. And yeah, so I'm going to get finished now. I'm going to come off the camera and get all the lot done, and I'll just show you when we finished. See you in a while. Just thought I'd share with you that beautiful red sky. Sun's going down. Then let's have a look at what I've been doing for the past 40 minutes or so. This is some focus. It will focus on its own eventually. There you go. So all pre-shading now, using the truly excellent grey surface primer. Very subtle, really nice, still really, really smooth, not powdery at all, and that's going to accept the top coat of white, no problem. So that's the next thing we'll do. So I'm going to turn it in for the evening, and I'm going to go out for my very late Sunday dinner tonight with some friends, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this is the Sunday before Christmas Day. So yeah, in a week's time it will be Christmas Day. So when I'm going to be able to get round to doing any more of this, I don't know, but it won't take me long anyway. But once these parts are done and all the decals are on, don't forget I'm spraying these with gloss white. So I won't be using any gloss coat over the top for the decals, and it'll just be a simple case of satin coat, and then it'll be just the inner frame to do, and then it'll be an assembly video, and I'll be finished. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Everybody, welcome back. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do the parts white. We're going to use the Mr. Colour. This one in particular, this jar here has been, it's when I've filled up my airbrush and I've thinned it down, what's left I put back in here. So I'm going to start with that one, and I've got a couple more. You can never have enough white, especially if you paint Gundam. So I'm going to empty, well not empty, I'm going to put what's in here, because this is quite thin. We don't need, oh, I'm going to add to that some, put that to one side for mixing. I've got a brand new jar here. Let's crack it open and give it a stir. It's thick stuff. A little does go a long way. Right, what I do have in here, in this other one, let me just fish it out, is a, you can probably see, a nut. I'll put that in there. That's stainless steel, marine grade stainless steel, so it obviously doesn't rust. Like I said, I'll put that to one side and we'll clean it out and reuse it at another time. So, right, I've got it all. See, that's thick stuff. I usually like to do this, get a small amount of thinner, the self-leveling thinner, and I'm just going to put a small amount in the jar. That should do it. That'll be enough. And I'm going to scrape off my stirrer, put that to one side, put the lid back on, and now it's got that nut in. What you'll, or you can hear, it's really thick stuff. It doesn't want to. There you go. Now that little bit of thinner, it's going to start working, and all the that nut will just agitate all the pigment and get it all together. Okay, that should do it. Now we're going to bring back the mixing container. Oh, by the way, these mixing containers, I think I got 5 for £1 from a local pound shop, and they're just like in the food aisle, like your foils and stuff like that, and cups and what have you. So you know what, that should be enough. It's a little thick, right? How I use this paint, it's a little like I use enamel. Now enamel, to get a gloss working, you have to, I like to stick around 3 coats down. You do a 50-50 mix, and then a little later you rehydrate what you've already sprayed down by adding a 25-75 mix, obviously the 75 being the ratio high on thinner, and then you do a better 90% thinner mix. It's just like a dirty thinner, and that really just melts everything together. It self levels, and that's when you get a gloss. Similar with this stuff, if you spray it kind of neat at a low air pressure and tickle it on, it'll become grainy, and we want it to be glossy because it is gloss. So actually I'll put a little bit more in, and then just check that. I might thin it down a little. Let me just get some kitchen towel. Another little tip: always give it a little wipe, and it'll be easy to open next time, because they do stick on the lids. Okay then, so it's a little thicker than the consistency of milk, that. So back out with the self-leveling thinner. Let's try that. That's about the consistency of like single cream. A little more. You know what? That'll do me. I'm fine with that. I can work with that. So turn the let's turn my compressor on. Let's turn my extractor on, and I'll just stop the recording a sec, get all set up, which I basically am. I just want to make sure that everything, the compressor's up and running properly. I'm going to be using my Revolution as I used it last time. It's a look, that's not what you want. I'm going to have to give my airbrushes a clean, so I'll see you in a minute. The airbrush is cleaned out now, so this is how it goes. I've got my parts here. I take them off there, I spray them, and I start stacking them up in the empty space, and we just go through it. The airbrush is ready. The compressor's regulator is set to about 18 psi. Right, okay then, let's go. Let's start with this large piece so you can all see what's going on. Let's get some. Right, I'm going to do this one piece, and then I'm going to put my mask on, because as you know, I don't have to tell you time and time again, this is probably the worst. Priming and your top coat is probably the worst time, and you know, you really should wear a mask, because it's yeah, it's lethal stuff. The amount of particulates that's in the air at any one time, it's quite high. Even though the extractor does a job, it can only do it to a certain extent, especially this one, as it's a homemade extractor. So as you can see now, right then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and bring down my exposure, and you might be able to see that a little better. Up a bit more. Now let's lock that exposure, and then see. Now I will come back to that. I'm going to let it have a little dry, because we don't want that paint to start running. Oh, I'll do some more on this the back here. Yeah. Okay, it's just starting to go. Right then, we will come back to these with a thinner mix, but we'll get all this done. I'm going to put my mask on, and I will, as usual, review what we've done at the end, so we'll see you in a bit. So I'll just give it a light dusty pass first. Just put the air on, now paint. Get nice and tacky, excuse the compressor. A bit heavier. Again, back to air. I've got my mask on if I sound a bit muffled, sorry. Use the light that's above to sort of like tell you how you're going and how thick the paint is. So each time you do a pass, switch to air. Now when you're happy with how the pre-shade looks, then you can really yank back on the trigger and get some heavy passes down, and that'll self-level then and become very, very glossy. So here we go. And then switch to air. And again, another pass. Now, that will stay exactly like that. Let me just see if we can get a bit better focus. Now it looks wet and it will dry that glossy. Yeah, it's having a lot of trouble focusing the phone, but you get the point. Right, I'm going to carry on some more and see where we end up. Hi there and welcome back. So all these white parts have now been done using the Mr. Colour lacquer paints. So there you go, that's the finish I'm achieving with it. The majority of it is down to preparation, using the primer, getting the primer right, which in turn is smooth, and then the pre-shade, and you can just see it very subtly along here. And here's another piece. Not a blemish on, completely smooth. The self-leveling thing out, doing its thing. I really like the paint, but unfortunately, one of my channel subscribers, and he's a YouTuber himself, Let's Make Model Simon, he's been having a few problems with it. And I think that's just down to basically a little lack of practice. It's not his fault, you know. He's excited to get on, and as a result, he's run into a few issues. Now, hopefully, this video might be able to help him and others that find themselves having issues. I know I did the first time out. You know, I told you about it, a little bit grainy, and stuff. But it was just it's just the preparation and just practice. Practice is everything. But as you can see, that these pieces are flawless. They're so smooth. They're so smooth. I've never used such a excellent paint, and you can see the shine on it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to put this onto my laptop, and I'm going to render this video and get it uploaded to you guys as soon as possible. So thank you very much for joining me, and in the next video it should be the inner frame, and maybe a completion, or it might be a couple more videos. So I know I've rambled on for half an hour or so, so thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.